Hello everybody, the Lawn Gnome is here.
You're who now?
Welcome everybody! It's been a while, I know, but I'm sure you're excited to get back into the wonderful world of the Lawn Gnome and Up from the Underground for the Season 8 premiere. I cannot believe that this is going to be the 8th year that I have been on YouTube. As a matter of fact, my YouTube anniversary was January 5th, and of course because of the fact that I was on hiatus, I don't really like to make a big scene. But when I get back to turning on that camera and sitting in front of you guys and talking about all the amazing things of popular culture, it just lifts my spirits to know that I am back just gushing about some of my favorite things in life. So in case you're new to my channel, welcome. It is a pleasure to have you, especially because of the fact that I just surpassed 1,700 subscribers, so I'm certain that a lot of you are new, and I'm looking forward to giving you guys another great season here. I hope you also like the new theme song. I'm also expecting the background to change in a couple of months, but we'll see how long it takes for that to actually happen. But we're here to talk about my 30 anticipated films of 2018. This is how I start off Up from the Underground seasons every single year, and at the end of the year, we talk about the best of the best in music, television, and movies. Also, when we talk about those 30 anticipated films that I want to see in theaters, just so you know, I like to see a month's worth of movies every single year. I don't know when the last time it was that I saw under 30 movies in a given year, but who knows, anything is possible depending on what's going to be coming to my local theaters. But I'm really excited because I think that this may be one of the best years for film. I also feel that it's going to be one of the most important years for film. So it's going to be a little bit different this time around in regards to talking about movies because I actually looked and saw how many movies I wanted to see. There are more than 30, so I had to do a little bit of a spin this time around. So I don't know if this is going to be a regular thing. It may not, but I've got some honorable mentions. These are additional 5 films that are movies that I kind of want to see this year, but they're not as important as some of the other movies that I want to see this year that ended up in my 30. So let's go with those honorable mentions first. They're not going to be in any particular order. Well, actually they are. They are in order of release dates. I want to see the new Tomb Raider movie with Alicia Vikander because I really do like her, but video game films, they're not really the strongest in all of film. Although I will say that one of the better films that came out in regards to video games these past couple of years was Warcraft, but with Alicia Vikander, this could either be really, really great, or it could be the same thing that Michael Fassbender did with Assassin's Creed where he just followed a bird. So, I don't know where that's gonna go, but we'll see. Another movie that I want to see is the sequel to Goosebumps, which I was very surprised by. Jack Black was amazing at R.L. Stine, and this was called Goosebumps Horrorland. Now, this I don't know is going to continue the story, or if it's just going to be based on one of the books, but I still feel that if I go see it, it's going to be a really fun time in the theaters. Then there's the Sony Pictures Studio Venom film starring Tom Hardy. Now, I think that Tom Hardy was a great choice to play Venom, but I'm not really sure what this movie's really going to be about. Like, is it part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe? Is it not? I don't know. Then there's the new Disney film, The Nutcracker and the Four Realms. I saw the trailer. I don't know what to make of it. I don't even know if I'm going to end up seeing it at the end of the day, but we will see. It did look interesting. And then the last film that is on my honorable mentions is Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, which is an animated film from Sony, and it features the main character of Miles Morales, and as someone who hasn't read comic books in many, many years, I know that the world of Spider-Man has really expanded, so to actually see a story about Miles Morales as a comic book fan would be something that's very interesting to me. So those are my honorable mentions, and then I had to give in to some of my fellow critics here in the film community. There were some movies that specifically came out in the last 2 to 3 weeks of 2017 for the purposes of getting awards nominations, but their wide releases were in the early portion of January. So I'm going to bite the bullet this time and basically talk about 2017 limited releases that are now 2018 wide releases. There were 3 of them, and I've seen them all already, and there will be reviews for you in the coming weeks. I saw I, Tonya, I saw Molly's Game, and I saw the new Steven Spielberg movie, The Post. So I will be talking about those 2017 limited theater releases very, very soon. But now let's get into the 30 anticipated films of 2018, and this is also going to be the new 10 for 12, the very first 10 for 12 of 2018, in which there are 10 movies scattered throughout these 30 that are movies that I really want to see above the others. So let's begin. Paddington 2, a movie that is looking absolutely charming. I loved the first movie. I recently rewatched it, and I'm really excited to see where the sequel goes because so many people have been saying good things about it. Here is the first of my top 10, and that is 12 Strong. It is the story of the horse soldiers. After 9/11, there were a bunch of U.S. troops that did a covert operation to smuggle themselves behind enemy lines and try to take out terrorists in Afghanistan. I am excited to see this movie. It stars Chris Hemsworth and Michael Pena. I think that this is a very interesting piece of our history that I don't know much about. I did, of course, remember 9/11, but seeing this small chapter of the War on Terror, apparently it's known as the first victory of the War on Terror. Very excited to see it. Then there is a movie called The Current War. I'm not hearing great things about it, but it sounds really interesting because it's all about Nikola Tesla and Thomas Edison in regards to spreading electricity throughout the United States. And then we finally get the third film and the final film in the Maze Runner series, The Maze Runner, The Death Cure. Now, I'm going to stop right here because here is my second most anticipated film of 2018. I may be calling this the best film of 2018 because it reminded me of another very important film that I saw a couple of years back, and that was United 93, in which a lot of research was done for the sake of making sure that it was the most accurate depiction of the United flight that went down into Shanksville, Pennsylvania, that was abducted by terrorists on 9/11. The movie that I'm talking about, the new one, is called The 1517 to Paris. I don't know if you recall this, but a couple of years ago, very recently, I think it was last year, a couple of United States Army officers were on a train to Paris, and a hijacker tried to take the train and cause some serious damage to people's lives. And these soldiers decided to get up and fight him and bring him to justice. They have those officers playing themselves in this movie, and people are going to see the whole story unfold in front of their eyes. The fact that they're actually getting people who actually were brave enough to risk their lives, the people who actually lived this, I think that we're going to be seeing some very powerful moments in film. This may be the best film of 2018. Then we've got the new Marvel Universe film Black Panther, and then right after that we've got the new Aardman Studios film Early Man. We have a new movie from the director of Ex Machina, and that, of course, is Annihilation, starring Natalie Portman. That movie looks beyond weird, but I am so curious about it. Then we've got A Wrinkle in Time. Now we've got my third most anticipated film, and I cannot wait to see this movie. It is called 7 Days in Entebbe. It is the story of the 1976 hijacking rescue when the Israeli army smuggled themselves into Uganda, where a group of hijackers kidnapped a whole bunch of people on a plane, and it is the story of how the Israeli government and army created a plan to rescue all the hostages. It is known as one of the greatest hostage rescues in history, and I don't think something like that will ever be seen again. The trailer looks good, the movie looks fantastic, it stars Rosamund Pike and Daniel Bruhl. Very, very excited. We've got the new Wes Anderson animated film, Isle of Dogs. We've got the new Guillermo del Toro anticipated sequel, Pacific Rim Uprising. Now we come to my fourth most anticipated film, and it is the Steven Spielberg directed Ready Player One. I love the book. I hope it's great. The trailer looks fantastic. Cannot wait to see it. And then we've got Super Troopers 2. That is my fifth most anticipated film, and I cannot wait to see this movie. I don't know what it's going to be. I hope it is great because it's been such a long time since the original came out, but I am very excited to see Broken Lizard return for a real fan-favorite sequel. Then we've got Avengers Infinity War, we've got Solo, a Star Wars story, which I like to call Han's Happy Days because it is directed by Ron Howard. Then we've got my other anticipated film, and that is the sequel to Deadpool. I cannot wait to see it. I am excited to see James Brolin as Cable. I think it's going to be so much fun. We've got my next most anticipated film, and that, of course, is the new Disney Pixar film, The Incredibles 2. I really hope it is good because it has been so long since the first film came to us. We have Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom, Ant-Man and the Wasp, which I think is going to be a lot of fun. We've got Hotel Transylvania 3, Summer Vacation. We then have Alita Battle Angel, which is a beautiful-looking CGI animated film. It is directed by Robert Rodriguez, produced by James Cameron. I don't know what it is, but I really want to see a little bit more of it. Now we've got another anticipated film, and I didn't even know this was coming out. It's called The Happy Time Murders. It is a murder mystery noir tale, but it has Muppets. It is directed by Brian Henson, the son of the legendary Jim Henson, and it involves all new Muppet characters. They're not going to have any of your favorites. It's going to be an entirely new film similar to The Dark Crystal and Labyrinth, but it's going to be a detective murder mystery noir film. I really want to see a trailer. It looks so interesting, and this may be one of the more fun times that I have at the theaters. And then we've got First Man, which is the biopic of Neil Armstrong, and it is directed by Damien Chazelle. It's his first directed film since La La Land. Very excited. We've got the new X-Men film, The Dark Phoenix. We've got an animated film of The Grinch, and Benedict Cumberbatch is voicing The Grinch. Very curious to see how that's going to go. And then we've got Ralph Breaks the Internet, which is Wreck-It Ralph 2, the 57th animated classic. We've got the sequel to Fantastic Beasts, which is called Fantastic Beasts: The Crimes of Grindelwald. And now we've got my last two most anticipated films of 2018. The new DC film, Aquaman, starring Jason Momoa. I really am excited for this movie. I had fun with Justice League. I enjoyed Wonder Woman very much. I have really liked all of these DC films, despite the controversy, and I'm just really excited to see a solo Aquaman film. I really think that it is going to be great. And the last movie in my top 30, which is my number 10 most anticipated film, is Bohemian Rhapsody, starring Rami Malek, who is playing the late Freddie Mercury, and it is the story of him in the band Queen, talking about the AIDS epidemic, talking about Live Aid. I really feel that this is going to be an excellent biopic about a music performer, and it's been a while since we've actually seen them. I think it's been about 2 years since Straight Outta Compton and Love and Mercy, so I am really excited to see Rami Malek play this legendary performer, and that wraps it up, everybody. I would love to hear your comments, so put them in the box below. I'd like to know if you agree or disagree, or if there's maybe a couple of films that I may have missed, but I'm sure that this is going to be a lot of surprises being thrown in as the year goes along. So I'm looking forward to going to the movies. I'm looking forward to hear about your experiences in the movies this year. But until then, I will see you in the next one. Hey, thank you so much for stopping by my channel today. If you're new here and want to see more of what my channel has to offer, please click on the link to my last video, or hit that subscribe button to be kept up to date with all of my uploads. Content of all sorts is posted here quite often, so trust me, you do not want to fall behind. I will see you in the comments, and actions speak louder than words.